Welcome to the world of wild caving in China, where there is such a great quantity and variety of caves that there is truly a little something for everyone. This program shows, through the details of just one expedition in March of 2015, that caving in China can satisfy the desires of just about any caver. Not only is there plenty of vertical caving to be had, but there is even more very nice horizontal discoveries to be found. Dry caving, sure. Wet caving, no problem. Big caves, small caves, you name it, it's there. There is tons of science that can be done in China, especially in terms of historical saltpeter mining. Plus plenty of work on geology, hydrology, and other fields. But there is more to caving in China than just the caves. There is the culture, the people, the towns, and the geography. There is the travel, the food, and the activities one goes through in order to pursue great caving in China. Using our expedition from March, this program will show all of this, including some of the caves and caving that can be had in China. So Philip and Sarah heading into the entrance to Gaidong. Do you want easy, humongous passage where your light is sucked up into the fog of an inner atmosphere? Then Gaidong is a cave to visit. The back end of Zhaidong also had some unusual rock structures built inside. It looked like they built rock columns to support a huge boulder as they mined underneath. That is really cool. From what little information we could get from the locals, they don't really know what these structures were for. They could only say that saltpeter mining did take place in the cave.
Grand Canyon Caverns is a private commercial cave located in the northwest part of Arizona, along historic Route 66 between Seligman and Kingman. With the new finds pushing the limits of the extension cord, a plan was devised to drill an access hole into the new section at the top of a blind dome. This will allow a much shorter run. On February 21st of 2015, Paul Jorgensen and Rich Bowman did a cave radio location of the drill spot. A point on the ceiling was marked as the expected entry point, with an X marks the spot. On the surface, the exact center of the beacon signal was located and marked for future drilling. The radio estimated depth to the antenna is 80 feet. The drilling begins through the compact dirt overlaying the limestone. What does it sound like when a cavity is found? The hammering stops, and the air escapes from the bottom of the drill. The in-cave camera captured the drill hammering on the ceiling and dropping rocks off the ceiling. It was a good day to only have a camera in the passage aimed at the expected entry point.
One legend says that a tinker by trade was killed by a farmer for things that he made. The tinkerman's by
It is now time to check out the murder hole at the bottom of the ski slope. Instead of climbing hand over hand down a steel cable like they did in times of past, we use modern ropes and vertical gear to go into the depths of the lower level. The earliest video of Catawba Murder Hole was provided by Ivan Sexton, who grew up in the area and went into the cave in 1988 with his buddy Porky. It's a great way to see how not to go into a cave, but it does show how many did it in the early days and somehow survived. Rappelling the big drop is an alternative to going down the talus slope. Because there is no roof on the daylight cave, the sun shines in from different angles and provides brilliant sunbeams. One of the main features of this section of the cave is these beautiful draperies. This large formation is called the tobacco shed because they look like tobacco leaves drying in a barn. The floor is covered in dark, slick mud and can be very treacherous to walk across. Catawba Murder Hole is a really special place where adventures have been had and friends have been made. But even more special, there is still more cave to be found.
Oh boy, yeah.
Okay. Well, we had the Proyecto Espeleológico Sistema Huautla, PESH, we call it, that's the acronym, 2015 expedition. 2 caves going at once, 2 major deep caves that are actually part of Sistema Huautla. Sistema means system, so it's a vast cave system with 20 entrances, and there's a way from one cave to the other, but extremely deep, and you got to know the way to actually do something like that. And you'd have to have all the ropes rigged 2 different ways to go in one and out the other. But through it all, with a list of stuff to do, as the organizer of an expedition, your goal is to address all of those objectives. But in the back of your mind, you're really hoping for something unexpected. And that's the great thing about cave exploration versus maybe to go climb a mountain again that's been climbed a bunch of times, is you know what you're going to find there. It's been climbed. You got a map that shows you where to go. In a deep cave, you hope for the unexpected. Well, it happened again. 2 years in a row now, we've had significant discoveries where we didn't really expect to have them. It's incredibly remote. You go to that underground camp 700 meters deep and then it's beyond there, but not far from there. You can actually do an after-dinner trip, if you will, up to this great big giant room, which is right there. 150-meter rope and you're in there. And it's like half again the size of a dome stadium. Like, you know, name the dome stadium. It's half again that big, like the Cowboy Stadium in Dallas. Half again that big. And it's silent, and it's perpetual darkness, and it's got world-class formations in it. We got public relations to deal with. And the reason is because while underground it's a wilderness, and we're exploring it, we're the first ones to go there, on the surface, it's anything but. A lot of people live up there. And the first road into the area wasn't built until like 50 years ago. So before that, they were remote and almost unknown to be there.
All story begins by establishing setting. Where are we? In the story of the survivors of Pre-Strato, the where is a main character, and it's essential to providing the audience a sense of the spatial relationships. From the entrance and beyond, how did they manage an entire community underground? Where did they sleep? Where did they cook? How was their water supply kept safe by placement of the latrine? As an early adopter of 3D, my foray into immersive media began with digital cinema. Exposure to LiDAR scanning and photoreal modeling instantly drew me to the realization that interactive virtual environments can change the way stories are told. Our single-user VR portals allow every visitor to experience Pre-Strato as no virtual environment has ever dreamed. Every shape, and texture based on real data. The closest thing to being there.
Difficult to kind of wrap your mind around is the data management in dealing with all these individual pictures. Brace Grotto is known what's called a 2D boneyard maze. And trying to keep up with where these pictures go, what they relate to, the naming structure, what to shoot in what order, and how to correlate that against a map, a very confusing map. It's just mind-boggling.
The prospect of a seamless mesh beckons. All things VR is at our doorstep. What better time with a solution supporting accurate photoreal environments?
Sasquatch, Mothman, Kamazats, and even Bat Boy certainly must call someplace home. There is, however, one place that may hold the secrets to all of these creatures. Deep in the beautiful mountains of West Virginia is a majestic limestone valley that contains over 1,000 stunning caves. But one in particular is positioned uniquely on a massive fault that drags the limestone layer to an incredible depth of over 2 miles. It is in this cave, Lost World Caverns in Lewisburg, West Virginia, where the elusive half-bat, half-boy creature, now commonly known as Bat Boy, is frequently spotted. The Hunt for Bat Boy documentary team is being deployed to go deep into this massive cave system to hopefully bring back evidence and answers.
This also is the area where in 1993 we believe that the FBI was camped out back here in the woods, and as Bat Boy moved this big slab of concrete out of the way, he scurried up this hill. They tackled him right here, and just through this gate is where they handcuffed him and took him away.
It's an amazing story.
Yes, it is.
In 1964, while excavating a commercial tunnel into Lost World Caverns, a tiny crack was discovered. For 1 month during construction, a group of local cavers explored that passage to an incredible depth. John Weinel took part in those trips and shared with us some shocking things they saw there. He, along with geologist Bill Balfour, have helped the Hunt for Bat Boy team to potentially regain access to that part of the cave in hopes of tracking and uncovering